Hello and welcome to Goddess Resurrection. My name is Britta and I am your host, and today's episode is on goddess alignment and its definition. Now today we are going to talk about what this means. How do you know that you're in your inner goddess alignment? And even more importantly, how to keep yourself there. How to keep yourself there and how to keep coming back into this alignment. Before we dive in, hello my gorgeous. How are you? Happy new moon. We have a new moon in Gemini coming up this weekend, June 14, 15. And this is a super new moon. And this new moon is the biggest reset of this entire year. This new moon in Gemini is so smooth and so soft, but very, very, very deep, and it will reroute us in the ways that we need to shift gears. It will take us into new chapters. It will now really bridge us into our highest timeline, new earth manifestations. This is the moon to not focus on self-improvement with. This moon, and it already dives into goddess alignment. This moon is very important. It's a very important marker. And think of this moon as it's the time to pause. This moon is inviting us to really understand that all of these light code waves that have been coming in, all of these upgrades that we have been receiving, we have to be aware of that. We are existing on so many different levels, in so many different facets. And this moon invites us to check in with self, pause, take time to see where have you been upgrading, which parts of you are resisting the change, resisting the growth, right? Because there are parts of us that might feel that they need to hold on to the old self, the old identification, the old paradigm. And so this is a very magical moon, not to forge forward and to get it all done. No. This is the moon for you to go very, very deeply within yourself, to get very quiet and to ask yourself, how am I doing with my integrations? How have I been keeping up with my upgrades? Where are my stories outdated? Where are my ways of choosing outdated? Where are my ways of perceptions outdated? How am I still thinking, feeling, reacting in the old ways? And what can I do to help these parts along? What can I do to up-level, get all of the parts onto the same page? May it be your nervous system, may it be your ego body, may it be your subconscious, may it be your unconscious mind. There are so many parts to us that resist the change and the growth. And this is the moon to catch these parts, these aspects of yourself, and to talk to them as if they are all these children, your inner selves that you want to talk to. Tell them you're safe. We're safe. We're safe in this upgrade. We are safe in trusting the unknown. We are safe in listening to the intuition. We're safe in leaving the past in the past. And following this vision, following this calling from within. We are safe to flow with life, to flow with these changes, because this moon bringing in big pivots, big resets, big great changes into new chapters, higher timelines, right? This moon is the doorway into what you've been focusing on, what you've been wanting to create, what you've been wanting to manifest. This moon is that doorway that you need to think of as you can only cross this threshold. You only want to be moving through this door space if you're feeling more or less that all parts of you are on board with it, that you feel excited about moving through this doorway, this threshold, that you're feeling safe, that you're feeling so deeply trusting that yes, you can now be in that soul guided way of living. You can now be moving and choosing from this inner wisdom. And so that's the invitation of this moon, for you to really, really, really stay in this inner communication. Check in with parts of you. Play back. Notice, where was I resisting? Where was I dropping into fear? Where was I dropping into doubt? Where was I dropping into reactivity? Where was I dropping into attaching to one way or the way that I thought things would go? Stay flexible. Stay in this inner awareness to keep shifting. Because that's the moving forward. That's the movement through this doorway of this threshold. You are entering a realm of higher consciousness. You are now here to live this higher consciousness. You are now here to be this higher consciousness, this higher light. You're now here to learn to ride these waves, these higher light code waves. And that all requires for you to be ready. Don't rush, don't push, don't force. Remember, that's all masculine energy. Get so calm and peaceful within yourself so that you can truly take inventory. Even ask, who's got concerns? Who's got fears, right? Talk to all parts of yourself. And then flow with it. Flow with the changes. Flow with the reset. Flow with whatever shifts are necessary to move into this new chapter of your life so that you can stay in your light and live these higher levels of consciousness and really be the light now, right? And that is your goddess alignment. So for this weekend, work with this moon. You can set intentions, sure, it's a new moon, but really think of it as this is prep time. This is preparation time. This is getting yourself ready, safe, secure, strong, trusting to walk through this doorway. And maybe you're not aware of any changes in your life, and that's great. Then you're ahead of it. Then you're in front of it. And if changes pop up, trust them. Remember, everything happens for you. Okay, good. Okay, good. Now let's meet in the breath. Nice, deep, slow in and exhales. You're the one in and you're the one exhaling. And as you are breathing and you're staying present to yourself, keeping your eyes open, let me start by saying that when we're saying goddess alignment, this does not mean you're aligning with some other goddess, some other entity, some other external being. No. This means that you are aligning within yourself because you already are the goddess within. Remember that the goddess, the divine qualities that are you, creation, vibration, highest consciousness, it's already within you. It's already present within every single cell of your being. It's already set for you to ascend, right? Your temple, you in this body, you are equipped to build your light body, to ascend, to raise your vibration, to be in this inner connection to yourself as this divine soul that you really are. And so this inner goddess presence is there, right? It's already who you are. What we're doing is through the healing and through the clearing work, we're clearing away the layers and the patterns and the conditioning and the coping mechanisms and all of the energies and all of the patterns that are of the old paradigm and are not serving your light. Whatever isn't serving your light has to go. And so, therefore, no matter where you're at, knowing and always remembering that you already hold these qualities within you. It is nothing that you need to bring in or fetch or get or become. No, it's already within you. It's already who you are. It's already present within you. So all that you have to do, and think of it in this way, is for you to slow down enough, to ground enough, to create enough clarity to connect into your goddess within, into your divine feminine within. And then when you're in your inner alignment, in your goddess alignment, what this means is that it is you feeling yourself a part of the flow, right? You're feeling yourself within the flow of life, within the flow and the acceptance of the changes, because you are trusting so deeply in the orchestration, in your higher self orchestration, in the light orchestration, in the divine orchestration, that you are not fighting anymore the changes that are occurring in your life. Remember, this is a course correction moon. And remember that it's happening for you. So whatever still needs to be aligned for your highest timeline, for your soul's highest intentions, for your highest outcome of mission, that is now going to happen. And your ego will try to fuss and fight and struggle and hold on to the old way. And now it's your responsibility, in order to keep yourself in this sense of flow, in this sense of acceptance, that you correct. You have to shift the narratives. You have to shift the storyline. The ego, remember, is only able to repeat what it's already conditioned to know. And so as it wants to fight and not accept the changes, as it wants to resist and throw a temper tantrum and play the victim, you are now in charge. And this is a big part of you being in your alignment. You are the one to teach your ego. You are the one to reinforce the new ways. So that if there is a fear, then you say to your ego, you say to these parts of yourself, this is the new way. We are ascending. And yes, it feels a little scary. And yes, we've never really flowed like this in such deep trust and surrender, without having the 5-year plan, without knowing the exact outcome. But that's okay, right? This is exactly where it is, right there. That you can be in such deep trust and surrender, and you can control the other parts of you and convince and align all parts of you to the point where you can continue to flow. You stay in acceptance. You stay in surrender. You accept the changes, the shifts, the pivots that are happening in your life, because if they're happening, then yes, they are happening for you. And if they're happening for you, then this is what has to be taken out of your life. Things that seemed like certain 2 months ago, 3 months ago, might all of a sudden be completely obviously not for you anymore, not happening anymore, not moving forward anymore. And this is the course correction where the ego is going to try to hold on to that. And this is when you correct and you speak to your ego and you teach your ego that, okay, even though painful, even though disappointing, even though sad to know that I invested all of this time and all of this energy and all of this alignment into one way of thinking, into one way of manifesting, and then all of a sudden, that's not the way forward. That's not the way any longer. And the more that you can get all parts of you to surrender, the more that you can get all parts of you to relax with it, the more that you can get all parts of you to just settle into trust, the happier you will feel, the easier it'll feel, and the faster all of the things that are meant to be for you, all of the things that are a part of your highest timeline, all of the new creations will have now the space to manifest into, right? Because whenever we're letting go of things, internally, externally, it creates a void, it creates a vacuum, and vacuums have to be filled. Just be okay with holding the space for the new to come. We're not wanting to fill it with something more of the same old stuff. So you see, it's subtle, right? We're working with very subtle energies now. Subtle energies that keep continuing to shift and change, because now we're riding these waves of these higher light codes moving us. And that is when you are in your goddess alignment, when you can fearlessly be that surfer. You're riding the wave and you can just trust it and flow with it, and you're riding that wave and you're letting it take you, because you know that your higher self, the divine, the light orchestration has got you. And of course, this doesn't mean you're on the couch doing nothing, just waiting for faith to knock at your door. No, you're of course following your inner guidance, you're following your intuition, you're moving forward with your manifestations as it's inspired, right? Inspired action. And that's you being in your goddess alignment, trusting yourself, listening to yourself, to your wisdom, to your knowing from this beautiful inner voice of yours that is your soul. And from here, you will always know. But most importantly, right now at this pivot point, be okay with the changes. Trust them. Don't go into the head. Don't overthink. Don't overanalyze. And give it up. Give it up. Whatever is taken out of your life, whatever is taken out of your inner space, give it. Give it. And so let me know. Let me know in the comments what shifted for you. what is your new chapter? What was the big pivot for you? What was the reset for you? I would love to hear about the resets. And again, everybody gets the reset in a different area, in a different way. But, and the other thing about your goddess alignment is that you stay in the three-way balance: rest, work, play. Remember, goddess always stays in her balance of rest, work, play, because this is also the moon to, like we've said, integrate into the new ways of thinking, the new ways of perceiving, the new ways of trusting, the new ways of not reacting, the new ways of seeing yourself in your ascended form. And we're going to continue to ascend. We're going to continue to embody higher light codes now. The messaging that I'm receiving is that just keep going, because the world is ascending at such a rapid pace, and there's so much awakening happening and so much clarity is entering into people's minds that there is no limit. There is no limit to what we can do now and who we can be now and what you are here to now manifest within yourself. So to take that time to rest, work, play. So you make that time to rest. You make that time to integrate. You make that time to ask yourself and to check and to have those communications within yourself, right? And then play, of course, right? Play. And, you know, I keep getting that guidance as well. And they said for me to reiterate this with you as well. For you to enjoy this life, for you to make time for play, for you to do what it is that lights you up, for you to laugh, for you to feel lighthearted, for you to enjoy and make those plans so that you get to do what lights you up, so you get to do what lifts your spirit, so you get to do what makes you laugh out loud, so you get to do that inner goddess embodiment, because that is inner goddess embodiment when we're laughing, when we're playing, when we're lighthearted, when we're trusting, when we're flowing. That is the ultimate goddess alignment. That is you being in deep alignment. So that, yes, life will throw up challenges. The world is still going through a huge transformation, and maybe even friends or family members are experiencing some kind of struggles. And it doesn't mean you don't care. It doesn't mean you don't assist. It doesn't mean you're not there for them. But you must promise yourself to make time for you, to make time to exhale. Because this is so important for your alignment, for your flow, to be in lightness and joy and laughter and feeling, embodying it, this way of the goddess, right? Remember, it's about bringing it into the body. And what you could do and should be doing all the time is, of course, find a practice that takes you out of the head and into the body. And it's warm outside now, so you can probably find practices where you can go hug a tree or walk barefoot outside somewhere on the grass or on the beach. Go to the beach, walk barefoot in the sand, or it's maybe still a little too cool for some places, but jump in the ocean, or just lean up against a tree. Be outside. Get yourself out of the head and into the body, out of the head and into the body, over and over and over again. And this is also a way to keep yourself in alignment and bring yourself back into alignment. And this is more in alignment with the rest. So we have the playful, and the rest part is just getting a little bit more quiet with yourself. Doing a meditation, going outside, grounding, movement that helps you get into the body. Exercise, of course, is always a great way into the body, but it's more intentional, right? We're moving into vibrational alignments that are dependent on your intentionality. So not just to work out because you want to look good and train your body, but it's really about the intention of being in your body, feeling your body's communication, your body's intelligence. It's everything to your goddess alignment. And some of us, and I've seen this plenty, work out doesn't mean getting into the body. Oftentimes it can, and it's definitely important for the well-being of the body, of course. But I see it over and over and over again, where women are so disconnected from their body, and they're working the body out because they're wanting it to look good. They're wanting it to look a certain way, but that doesn't mean they're connected to the body. It doesn't mean they're paying attention to the body and listening and hearing the body's intelligence and communication. So you see, we're having to work with the more subtle levels now. It's very important because goddess alignment is not surface. It's not old paradigm, obvious ways. Much more subtle, much more deep, much more connected, much more trusting, knowing that all is well, as long as you stay in your alignment, all is working for you, staying in your breath, staying in your inner body communication. I ask my body every morning now. It only takes 30 seconds. I put my hands on my womb and I bring my light in fully, and I am the goddess within this temple. I am the goddess within this body, and I talk from my light to my womb space, to the seat of my goddess, and I ask her, how are you feeling? What would you like today? What should we put into the schedule, right? Where do you want to go? Or just to say good morning, just to say hello. How are you? How are you feeling? So it's from the mental intellectualizing of everything into communicating with your womb, your inner goddess, your light, your body's wisdom to drop into the body. And again, goddess alignment means you are in your knowing. That's your goddess. That's your goddess alignment. You listening and communicating and tending to drops you into your knowing, and your knowing is going to tell you exactly what to do, what would be good and healthy, what direction to take, which way to perceive it. The more that you drop into your inner knowing, the stronger you will feel, the more independent you will feel, the more fearless you will feel, the more trusting you will feel, because this is you. This inner knowing is you. It's your divine feminine self. And that is complete goddess alignment, for you to be so in your knowing that as life and this world is topsy-turvy and things keep popping in, popping out, changing, shifting, transforming, you stay steady. You stay centered. You stay clear. You stay in the breath and in your knowing. Now, being that light, being that navigation, being the higher consciousness playing human. And also in this way, you are that beam of light for others to see, for others to feel inspired by, for others to gather hope from. That, oh wow, she's so calm. Look at her, so in charge. Look at her, unbothered by the fluctuations that are happening externally every day now. Because you are not dependent on the externals. You are not attached to the externals in any way. That is how you stay and flow and operate from your knowing and stay in this sense of safety. Nothing externally can guarantee anything any longer. You are the creation vibration. You are the manifestation. You are the portal for the divine. You are living light now. And that is goddess alignment, right? That you're not needing, attaching, but you stay so flexible, so fluid, so flowing, so relaxed, that you really are existing on these higher levels of frequency, on these higher levels of communication, right? And then of course always remember your auric bodies. You gotta hold your auric field so self-possessed, so contained, that you can flow with it and shift again and level up again and pivot up again and reset again. None of any of the external fluctuations or resets or pivots freak you out anymore, right? That's goddess alignment, where okay, well, that's sad, that's too bad. All right, you know best. You got me. All right, let's go. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it flowing, right? The less we resist, the deeper the trust, the happier and higher the timeline. So use this moon to really be in that integration fully and intentionally. And from there, when it's time to move through this doorway, through this threshold, stay in your alignment. Keep bringing yourself back into your alignment. And out of the head, into the body. Out of the head, into the breath. Out of the head, into the trust. Out of the head, out of the attachments and needs and right, externals, identifications, into your inner light alignment, into your womb, into your divine inner goddess that's already there, always. And even if you have moments where you're feeling sad, or you're purging, or you're feeling upset, or you didn't expect this and it's taking you by surprise, that's all okay. Breathe and feel, don't think. Breathe and feel, don't think. And once you've processed, come back into acceptance. Trust that everything is happening for you. And remember that everything that's happening is already also a part of your higher self, your soul creation. So even though your human self and your ego might not be happy about the change or the shift, It's what your soul and what your higher self manifested. And that's necessary. That's necessary to get you into the light, into the vision, into the mission, into the co-creation that is truly meant for you. So fearless, my sister, fearless, fearless, fearless. Staying in alignment and return to alignment. No more overthinking. No more false beliefs or perceptions. But really truthful, deep knowing. And this knowing, you can only hear it when you're calm. So always make sure that that is your priority. Good. What a time to be alive. Okay, my gorgeous. As always, please let me know in the comments where you're at, what's been shifting for you, and yeah, I see you next week, and happy, happy, happy new moon. And I am grateful for you and your time and your energy on this platform. And I'm sending love and light blessings to you and yours as always. Hugs and kisses. Ciao for now.